Thank you and welcome to part 3 of this video. After understanding what is Acumatica, now is high time we explain some of the key Acumatica ERP modules. So this is a complete overview for beginners where we shall be understanding the main business area in Acumatica ERP. So let me maximize this screen for visibility. So I would like us to have a recap of what is Acumatica ERP. Acumatica is a cloud-based ERP enterprise resource planning system, which we abbreviate as ERP, which usually connect different business processes within one integrated platform, which I said is a harmonized system. So in this video, I would like us to understand the major Acumatica ERP modules. So before we go into the modules, you first need to understand what is an ERP module. So an ERP module is a business area or a functional component within the ERP system. So this, in simple words, their functionality in an ERP system. Each module manages specific business processes. A key example is here. Sales usually manage customers sale. Inventory usually manage the stock. Finance usually manage the accounting area, and that is simplicity of the modules. So these modules works harmoniously for the success of the business. So the main Acumatica business areas, it is the financial management, the distribution management module, the CRM or the customer management module, the project accounting module, manufacturing module, construction module, and field service module. So one ERP platform can be able to interconnect all these business processes, which are abbreviated by modules, or which is integrated as modules. So under the financial management module, it usually manages the financial activities of the business. One of them is the general ledgers, the account receivable, the account payables, the cash management, fixed asset, currency management, and tax management. So we shall get deeper and touch what is the general ledger. So the general ledger is the central accounting area in an ERP system. It usually records the financial impact of a business transaction. That is, example, when you make a sale revenue, inventory, expenses, account payable, account receivables, and taxes. So these usually act as the central accounting area of an ERP system. So many transactions eventually affect the general ledger. So this acts as the engine of any transaction in an ERP system. So when we come to account receivable, abbreviated as AR, account receivable manages money owed by customer to the business. So this is where we have the customer invoices under the account receivable. We have the customer payments. We usually have credit memos, which are applied against the invoices. You usually have the customer balances and the account receivable aging balances, which it can be created as a generic inquiry, a GI, or in some scenario, it is already integrated with the system. So an example is that Kinwan Hardware Limited sells cement on credit to credit customers. So this is the whole analogy of account receivables. So when we get to account payables, so account payable usually manage money the business owes to suppliers. So this is the money owed to suppliers. So these involve the supplier's bill, the vendor's payment, a debit adjustment, the prepayment, and the account payable aging balances, which can be learned as a generic inquiry. So an example is this is Kinwan purchases cement from a supplier, where they purchase cement as credit customers. So let us continue and get to the distribution management module or area. This manages purchasing, stock, and sale processes. So this is where you usually get the purchase orders, inventory management module, and sales order. So this we can get a simple workflow of this. This is where we make a purchase of a stock item or non-stock item. We receive purchase of this item, assuming they are stock item. We store them in our warehouses, then sell. So when we sell, we must create a shipment so that we can ship this item to the customer and then generate an invoice. Simple like that. So this is the whole analogy of the distribution module. So under the distribution module, we shall touch two aspects of it, these three aspects of it. So we have the purchase order management area. So under this area, it usually manages the purchasing processes. So this is where you create a purchase order. You order good from the supplier. You receive the good. You process the purchase receipt. You create the supplier's bill. So a clear example of this is when you order 100 bags of cement, maybe from the supplier. You create a purchase order. So when we come to inventory management, so these usually involve management of stock item and warehouse activities. So this is where we usually have some stock item, warehouses. This is we also when we have stock items which we have received, maybe we have bought them or we have manufactured, we create a receipt to receive this amount. These are stock item, and when we are giving out for sale, we issue. We can transfer this stock item from one warehouse to another warehouse, where we shall be introducing a concept of two-step transfer and one-step transfer. Then there are some adjustments which we usually make in the warehouse, and also we do the inventory availability in the warehouse. So Acumatica helps to track the movement of stock item under the inventory management module. Let us continue to the next module where we can have the sale management. So these usually manage the customer sales process. So this is where we create sales order. We can create shipments. We can create customers invoices, returns, and credit memos. So credit memos, they are used to correct an erroneous sales order. So, and when these sales orders deals with the stock item, it will involve also the revaluation of stock if this amount had already been sold, but we shall cover these into details. So example of this is when you sell 20 bags of cement to a customer. So this is where you create a sales order, a shipment, then you create a customer invoice. Then in case of a return, maybe like 5 cement got damaged during the transportation, that's when you can go ahead and offer a credit memo and so on and so forth. Or wrong amount which was sent to be paid by the customer was overstated. So let us continue and get to now to where we have the customer management CRM module. So under the customer management or the CRM module, CRM helps customer's relationship and sales activity. So this is where you usually get the leads, the contact. We create a business account. We can have opportunities. We can have sales activity and marketing lists. So under CRM can connect the sales journey to ERP. So CRM connect the sales journey to ERP. So the time when we identify a lead, we turn this lead to a customer. So it tracks all that journey, and it can help in predictability on the growth of the business, on how it is creating new opportunities. So we also have another module under the project accounting, so you can be able to manage your project easily using using the ERP, using the ERP. So this usually manages project related financial activities, where we can have the projects, the task, the project budget, the costs, the revenue, the time and expenses, where you can be able to manage the time the project is taking and the expenses, project billing. So this is useful for project-based business. So these are business which deals with multiple projects, so you can be able to monitor this project using an ERP. So the beauty thing with Acumatica, you can buy or you can purchase them module which you require as per now, and there is room for growth where you can keep on adding some modules into the system. So Acumatica also offer other modules or other solutions, where we usually have the manufacturing, we deal with production and material processes. We usually have the construction, which usually deal with construction project and financial management. Field service, which usually deal with service appointment and technician. Maybe it is a service industry, which have employed some technicians, so you can be able to monitor the field service activities of these technicians. So it also deals with commerce, where you can be able to be connected with online selling processes. Like in Kenya, we have Jumia, and international, we have things recognized as Amazon, Alibaba, and so on and so forth. Acumatica also support different industries and business model when it comes to hospital and so on and so on to mention. So to continue with this, I would like us to understand how the modules work together. So we'll take a scenario when you create a purchase order. So there is a purchase order, then we get an inventory receipt, then we get the inventory, then we can create a sales order. This sales order can get into shipment, then we create an invoice, then we have account receivables, then we get general ledgers and tax, and this is the ERP, the whole analogy of the ERP integration based on this workflow. So this is how the ERP usually function, and to make it direct and granular on what you expect regardless of the module which you have, in case you deal with sale of items, both stock and non, and in case non-stock item. So let us continue. So to understand this, we would like to deal with one transaction with multiple modules. So we can assume that Kin 1 hardware sales cement. So we have a sales order. It will record the customer order. We have the inventory, which the stock will automatically be reduced. We have the account receivable, where the customer balances is created. We have the general ledgers, where the financial impact is recorded, and we have the tax, where VAT is calculated. So these modules are interconnected together rather than disintegrating this module to different subsystems. So they are already integrated in one system. So this is a whole analogy of an ERP platform like Acumatica. So why you understand Acumatica modules? So understanding modules help you to follow the business processes. You also understand the transaction flow which is occurring. You can also be able to configure Acumatica correctly when doing the implementation. You can also be able to troubleshoot ERP issues. So in case you are checking the process flow of creating an invoice, you can be able to track where the error is originating from. You also understand the accounting impact of different transactions which you conduct, and also understand the tax impact. This is a foundation of technically becoming an Acumatica consultant, by understanding all these modules, and you can be able to figure out close to everything when it comes to Acumatica. So the key takeaway here is Acumatica modules usually manage different business processes. Just understand that they usually help to manage different business processes, but they do not do it in isolation. They work together as one, so that it can ensure a success of any of the ERP system. So that is where it is defined as an ERP, an enterprise resource planning management system. So Acumatica usually connect entire business and treat it as one. So it's just one system which is handling every aspect of the business. It's like your body. So your body must work into all the parts in your body must work together, so that you can be a complete human being. So to continue with that, in the next video now, because we have understood how Acumatica work, we have also understood what is Acumatica. Now I would like now to, because we have understood the complete business flow in Acumatica, we shall in the next video I would like us to cover another concept in Acumatica. So where now we will be able now to carry on transaction in Acumatica. So where we'll be able to carry a complete business process flow, where we'll create a purchase order, get the stock item in the inventory, then create a sales order, generate a sales invoice. We can apply a credit note, see how the finance area is being affected, then check the tax calculation, and then we should be able now to learn forward. So thank you for watching. You can subscribe to our channel so that you can learn more Acumatica ERP tips and what you need to understand, so that you can become pro in Acumatica and have an head start to operate any other ERP which come across to you. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day ahead.